What's going on, everybody? I'm Tim Russell from Game Dev Underground, GDU.io, and today I want to make a quick video that's a little bit different than some of my normal videos, but I wanted to really talk about burnout because I know it's a big issue for a lot of game developers, and me myself, I've experienced one form of burnout or another countless times throughout my lifetime. So I started in hardware, I built robots and stuff, then I got into software, I built platforms, I built websites, I built apps, I built games, I built all kinds of stuff, and for me, I was always really obsessive. I've been obsessive since I was a little kid. And when it came to building things, I would obsess over my creations for days and weeks and months on end sometimes. And then I would get to a point where I didn't want to look at it anymore. I didn't want to touch it. I didn't want to go near it. And I realized over time that this burnout, this thing that happened after obsessing over something for too long seemed to kind of be a cycle. So I did a lot of research into it, and I kind of analyzed myself because I really wanted to fix this thing. Like, it was affecting my ability to finish things. I would create all these things, I would start all these projects, and I would never finish any of them. And when you do that over time, it's a pattern, and it can be really damaging, like especially in the creative field. So I wanted to fix what I felt was like something broken inside me, I guess. And when I started reading about it and researching it and looking up all these topics, one of the things that I found was that burnout can't really be fixed by anything but time and distance from your project after you get there. So if you're burned out and you're at that point, only thing to really fix that is time and distance from your project. And I've gotten through a lot of my burned out phases just using the time and distance tried and true methodology. But the good news is, if you've been there before and you understand the symptoms of it, you know how it makes you feel, and you're starting to get there again, you feel like you might be getting burned out in one of your projects. And so there is something that you can do. And I tried this multiple times, and one of the things that I found was that downtime is productive. And it sounds kind of like counterintuitive, right? Like, you think, okay, like you have to get things done, you have a deadline, you have to do this, you have to get shit done. You feel guilty if you don't work on the project, and that's what causes burnout. Is the obsessiveness and the nonstop and the constant never letting it leave your conscious brain. I found that with me, if I treat downtime as productive, so in other words, I might go to the beach, I might hang out, I might take whole days off of my project, I might take whole weeks off of my project, and I don't feel guilty about it. I don't feel like I need to get back to my project, I need to do it, because then it's still in my brain, that it doesn't really count as a break. You have to schedule this downtime as part of your project. When I started doing that, I saw a significant increase in the ability, in the length of time that I was able to continue with projects. And for me, that was a big deal. Like, being able to see the fact that I could now finish some of these projects just by taking time off, and conscious time off. That's important, because if you're supposed to work on your project one day and you don't, and you get home and it's really late and you're really tired and you feel guilty for not working on it, that's still bad for your brain. You gotta take scheduled time off. You gotta say, okay, this Wednesday is my day off. I'm not gonna work on the project. I'm gonna go to the beach. I'm gonna go hang out with friends. I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do. If you take that time off, it really helps. And you gotta do it in a way where it removes you from thinking about your project. Because I know for me, when I'm obsessing about a project, when I'm in that intro phase of obsession where I just want to work on it, that's the hardest time for me to get away from the computer, because I want to work on it so much. I'm motivated and I'm inspired and I want to get and just do the shit. But that's dangerous. That's one of the most dangerous places to be when you're talking about burnout, because that's where it starts. You may feel that inspiration and that motivation, but your body still has limits. And if you obsess on something for so long, your brain's just going to get tired of it. So one of the things that I did, like, for example, I went camping with my friends. And that was a really cool getaway for me because I remember like trying to get my mind off of the project that I was working on. And I just, you know, I would go to Starbucks, I would hang out with friends, whatever, but I would constantly be thinking about it. But like camping, for example, really helped me out because when I'm floating down a river in like a, you know, a floatable, and my friend's trying to dunk me, and we're all trying to, you know, dunk each other, and there's alligator on the shore and stuff, like, there's not much that I could do to think about my project in that moment. Like, I'm stuck in that moment. It pulls me out of whatever I'm at in here. You gotta find things that do that to you. I don't know what your hobbies are. I don't know what kind of things you like to do, but you gotta find those things that pull you out of your head, right? There are things that will just get you there. One of my favorite things to do, honestly, is go see movies. I go see movies alone a lot because I like the experience. I like going to a movie theater, and I like the fact that when I'm alone, I usually sit in like one of the first front rows, one of the first 3 rows, and usually I go on like Tuesdays or Wednesdays when nobody's there, and I'll sit in there and I feel like I'm in a theater alone, and I can like join into the movie. I can let my conscious mind escape into the movie world. That really helps me. And ever since I started doing that, like, it's a significant boost to my ability to continue on with projects and finish things. That specifically, like, at one point in time, I was probably going to see a movie once or twice a week because it helped so much. And now, not everybody can do that. I get that, and not everybody has the ability to just go camping every, you know, whenever they want or all that stuff. But I recommend that you look into yourself and find things that pull you out of your head, because those are really good indicators of the things that will help recharge you. And you know, we're all introverts or extroverts, and it may require people, it may not require people, but find the things that pull you out of your head, because those are the things that are going to recharge you and prevent burnout. And if you schedule downtime, if you just remember that downtime is productive, if you just think about it like, hey, I have to schedule downtime in my project. Even though I feel super inspired, I feel super motivated, I gotta schedule some downtime and go do your thing. You will get so much farther in life. I guarantee you. It has helped me tremendously. So that's all of my thoughts on burnout. There's a lot more to it, but for me personally, my experience, I've had that philosophy in me for a while, and I wanted to kind of share it because I thought it might be helpful. If you found this helpful, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notifications when I post new videos. If you've ever struggled from burnout, and you've come through it, or you haven't, either way, post a comment below, because I want to hear your experience. I want to hear if there's anything that helped you, or what you're struggling with specifically, because, you know, we all can learn from each other. So until next time, once again, I'm Tim Ruswick, Game Dev Underground, and I will see you guys in the next video.